expert and employees returning to office, how facility managers are ensuring their office cafeterias can handle not so predictable employee count in office. How is technology playing a role to predict food requirement in office and maintaining EHS norms in cafeteria? For this, would like to introduce the panelists first, starting with Maloncho, who is the Hyderabad Property Management Lead, Global Real Estate, Asia Pacific for JP Morgan. Round of applause for Maloncho. Like to invite Subroto Ghosh, who is the Manager Workplace Management for CGI. Bigger round of applause for the panel members, please. Radhish Nair, who is the General Manager, Global Workplace Solutions and Property Management at CBRE Asia Pacific. Like to invite Kranthi Kumar, who is the Senior Manager Administration at Softpath. Like to invite Ramesh Nadiminti, who is the Director of Facilities at USP. Ankur is already there on the floor. And finally, we'd like to invite Haraprasad Panda, who is the President at Capstan FM, who is going to be the moderator for this panel.
Big round of applause for all the panel members, especially for Kranthi, who is making debut today on a panel discussion. So, as we all know that this topic is on, Vishwa has already spelled out that there are three questions he has asked us. One is, how the FMs can handle not so predictable employees count in office? How is technology playing a role in food requirement in office? And third is maintaining EHS norms. So we have distinguished panel who has huge experience on this field. Before going to the panel members, I have a few facts to tell you all of you that as we know, the hybrid is the new normal. With that, all of us know Wednesday is the new Monday. How many of you agree Wednesday is new Monday? Okay, good. So there are 75% of people are following RTO, but ITS is still at less than 50%. As we all know, earlier when 10 years back, 12 years back, cafeterias was extended as one of the service to employees that because people are coming in the early hours, they have to leave in the late nights. So there could be something available for them to eat and have some networking and all. But today's scenario, it is completely changed. The cafeteria is increasing your productivity, business productivity, reducing attrition, employees' mental health and well-being is being measured by cafeteria. So with this, I am going to my first panel, Maloncho. So how this change from cafeteria as a need to have to a which is impacting the productivity of the organization, how the change has happened, Maloncho, if you can run us through.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being part of this panel. Thanks, Vishwa, and thanks, Hara. So, cafeteria is not what it was when it was designed way back by the architects as part of the workplace design. It is a place where it nurtures not only our health, but our mental well-being. And as we come back to work after this COVID era, it really, really means a lot, which is a place where we collaborate, ideate ideas, and we meet with our colleagues, with our seniors, with fellow people from the office, workplace, without any bias. So cafeteria is a place where you can just nurture your relationships, and a lot of ideas get fostered in there.
Thanks, Maloncho. Be on time. Good. So as we know, there are three primary what you call stakeholders for cafeteria management. One is employee who are going to use, who are our user, internal customers. Second is the facility manager. If you ask the facility manager that what is your top two pain areas, they will tell that cafeteria and transport. So cafeteria is definitely one of the pain areas. The third stakeholder is the management, the CEOs, CFOs, and fourth is the service partner. So on the nowadays we are getting variety of people in our organization. So the new generation, the Gen Z, Gen X is coming into picture. So the next question to you that what is the expectation from the Gen Z and Gen X in cafeteria and how we are able to deliver it as a FM?
Yeah, thanks Hara, and thanks Bisha to make me part of this panel. Interesting topic, Gen G and Gen X. Earlier we used to have lunch break. Now we don't have any more lunch break. Now earlier we used to have a hunger. Now we have a mood. So Gen G, Gen X, it's the mood that derives the cafeteria. what they like to eat, and more than in food, they look at the ambience because everything has to be uploaded on your Facebook, on your Instagram, what you're doing. Maloncho told it's a collaboration. I'll say now we do a celebration more in cafeteria. We celebrate each and every moment. The Gen Z, Gen X celebrate everything. If they get even a small thing, they celebrate among colleagues, and those photos get uploaded immediately. You can see in FBs or Insta immediately, or Snapchat. That is today's talk. Any of FB Insta also taken a seat back, but Snapchat. So Gen Z, Gen X, what I'm looking at, more on the visualization, more on the ambience, they look into it. And food part, definitely, team may agree or not agree. It's not that conventional food that they look at. They look at different varieties of food and beverages spread. May you categorize as junk food or may categorize as healthy food, all options that need to be provided in cafeteria.
Yeah, so little contradicting to this, Radhish, that so there are people, the media age people, though I am on the new age, so the media age and the senior citizens are also there in the office. So definitely when we are talking about mental health, so we have to provide the healthy food options also. So how can facility manager ensure with the help of the service provider that the Gen Z is taken care and the healthy food options is taken care, at the same time we have enough options available?
So good afternoon all. First of all, thank you Vishwa and team to having me here. So interesting question, Hara. So it again depends, like today, like what Subroto was mentioning about Gen Z, Gen X and other people like us also who are not there. But first and foremost, look, I would categorize two kind of organizations. One is larger organizations, second is a smaller organization. For example, I was in Deloitte yesterday, and Deloitte being the huge setup, the numbers are huge. Even at this juncture, what I understand is there's 20 to 25,000 people coming every day. So they can have, the varieties which I saw, they had plenty of varieties, they had healthy food, junk food, the balanced meal, everything. So, but if you go into a smaller organization, which are not huge in terms of numbers, and now with the hybrid model coming in, how do we ensure? So the only thing which we have to balance it out as a facility managers is, even if you are giving a simple thali, how do you segregate and how do you balance your meal? Having all the nutrients which is required
The
as per the diet.
Yeah.
It has to be a balanced meal.
Correct.
So you cannot have more options, but that's something which we have to look. Definitely people nowadays have this thing. Healthy meals. The soup, salads, everything. So that's how we have to balance it out.
Thanks, Radhish. Ramesh, I'm extending this question again to you. As we know that few people are coming on Monday, few people are coming on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, different set of people. So hybrid model. How we have to give the projection to the our service partner. At the same time, we have to ensure that the food is not wasted, because wastage of food is a crime. So how we can manage both the things, balance between both the things? We have to maintain employee expectation, and at the same time the food wastage is also, we have to answerable to the society also.
Absolutely. So here actually COVID scenario has disrupted. If any one department which got disrupted to the core is facilities management, to be really frank. And big round of applause to all the facilities guys, including me, who does a great job in ensuring it is business as usual, to be frank. But when it comes to the employee headcount prediction with respect to the kind of meal, there are many options which come up. We have a lot of artificial intelligence which we can bring into play. Nowadays, aggregators like Gokhana, etc., and all, they bring up the software wherein you can pre-book a meal. We have Archibus, wherein you can pre-book a desk, and we have other kind of softwares like Move in Sync, wherein we can pre-book a seat for the employee transport, wherein they have to commute. So
Correct.
These all data can be brought in, and there can be a prediction of a headcount with a 10% plus or minus, which always works in the food industry. This works well with pre-cooked and delivered food. And when it is a live kitchens, then it doesn't have any problem because it's on order. So
today's scenario of running live kitchen is a little difficult option.
difficult,
because,
absolutely. Having said that, there are a few offices like where you have a great headcount. They'll have to run live kitchen for sure.
Correct.
So in that scenario, there won't be any problem because it's a raw material which needs to be stored and it's live on order preparation. Having said that, time coming into play and pre-cooked food, there is a lot of machine learning and AI wherein they can play. We can play and come up
How
with
we
that.
can ensure that employees are not wasting food? The food.
Employee food wastage is through creating awareness. See, it's like, it's a self-awareness.
Okay.
We can't, we can take the horse to the pond. You can't make it drink water.
Correct.
It's
It
a
should be
self-awareness
self-awareness,
which needs to be created. And equally, I would also like to put a point which is a bit contradictory, but having said that, there are a few services like employee transportation, cafeteria, which are not right. It's a privilege given by the organization.
Need
The
to have, nice
organization,
to have.
yeah, organization has got a core business, and this is a part of it. So you achieve it, you doesn't avail it, but organization sustains itself in one area, in one angle, the thought process, and it remains there. You need to expand more options. You need to come up. There are wide areas where you can explore, like Swiggy or Zomato or Instamart, wherein you can get the food delivered to your desk. So that's the thing. But having said that, lot of software can be utilized and we can
Thanks, Ramesh. So, Ankur, you will listen to all these people. So, how we can feel that the technology can integrate all these things and ensure that we have better experience in cafeteria. The food is available, wastage is not done, the Gen Z is taken care, diet is taken care, all those are taken care with technology. How that is possible?
Yeah, technology always enables things to be done in a very different way. But I always say there also has to be a mindset change to adapt to technology. I mean, technology can give you X, but if you're not ready to accept that and you still want to work the traditional way, there's nothing much can be done. For example, I can say technology can tell you what is the meal count for tomorrow with our AIML that we have. Where we analyze Mondays and how are Mondays growing, how are Tuesdays growing, how is the weather today versus the previous Monday, because that also makes a difference. Then we ask corporates if you can give us your transport data, if you could give us your seat booking data, and then we start correlating on that. So our aim is to go up to, while as Ramesh said that 90% is good, our internal target is go to about 95% accuracy on next day's count. Right now, we are hovering around 88, 90%, sometimes 85% kind of an accuracy. But our team, data scientist team, is working on giving a 95% accuracy, and that's when I think we would achieve something. Second, food wastage, like what we have spoken, it can be taken care very easily with a mindset change. What I would say is, what I always tell people is, I agree we should give lunchtime starts at 12:30, suppose, and food is supposed to be there at 3 o'clock. So please understand, food is supposed to be there. Main meal does not has to be there till 3. Main meal is the place where it really goes for a toss because you've gotten 100 packs. I would say if you communicate to an employee, see, main meal service ends at 2:30. And you have other live options. You have parathas, you have some pav bhaji, you have some other things. That's okay. I mean, if we accepted that that's okay because you still have food, is where all of us can contribute to reducing food wastage.
So we should not expect as per our choice. What is available?
Yes.
Something to it.
Yeah. So,
Peak time, non-peak time.
Correct. But more often than not, it's like, how did the main meal get over at 2:30? I mean, how in the sense you are not able to predict how many people will eat today? How is a vendor partner supposed to predict that, instead of 100, there'll be 120 count or 150 count today? So I think between us, we should always become a little more conscious that khana hai na. We are giving you things with which you can fill food because there are live options. That mindset change, along with a combination of technology, really helps.
Thanks.
I say one point here. With Gen Z coming into play, the mindset of main meal is changed a lot.
I agree.
Pizza plays a role, donuts plays a role, everything plays a role for them, which is the main meal for them. So,
yes. Thanks, Ankur. Thanks, Ramesh. So now coming to Kranthi, to you, that as Radhish, Ramesh spoke about big organization and small organization. Big organization has the base kitchen, wherein the live kitchen where food has been cooked. But maximum of the organization, they depend on the satellite kitchen of the service partner. Okay, so then the aggregator is there, service partner is there, and a facility manager. We have to ensure that the kitchen hygiene, how we have to ensure, because it's not in our premises. What kind of checks and controls we need to put and how we ensure the hygiene is being maintained?
This is my first debut here, and so thanks for the support from Panda sir. From since morning he was in touch with me and he was guiding me. So the question is an interesting question because kitchen hygiene is the one of the major factor where the proper food is coming to the outlets. I mean the cafeteria, and as a facilities manager, we have to make sure the proper hygiene audits has to be conducted. So we can also take outsource hygiene people, those who comes and they conduct the audits. So with their help, we can go to the kitchens, those the service providers, and we can audit there physically, and we can find out any kind of the hygiene standards are not maintained. We can question them and we can also correct them. So because food is which is coming to our cafeteria should be the healthy food, so that the employees should not get any kind of illness. That is what the main intention of the hygiene standards. And also we have to ensure that the employees working in the kitchen also need to be trained properly and they need to be well knowledge about the hygiene standards. And most of the organizations doesn't do this. We have to periodically conduct the health checkup also.
Correct.
For at least 3 months or 6 months, so that we will come to know what is their health condition. Internally, we don't know what is happening. Once the cut is happened, we never know what the people will work with the same condition. But we need to monitor, keep on monitoring all these things, and there should be a proper checklist, and the monitoring process has to be there implemented properly.
Now, as we talk about the hygiene and audits, so there are some kind of compliances, Maloncho, like what are the rules and regulations we have to ensure, we have to follow as an organization, that to depend on the base kitchen of the satellite kitchen of the vendor or to run a base kitchen in our premises. So, and to have a cafeteria, to serve food, what are the regulations need to be followed?
So I'll not get into details of all the regulations, naming all of them, HICCP and then food standards and health codes. But what I can say is that as an organization, we should be cognizant of the fact that these codes and these health standards are not restrictions, but it helps in the well-being of our employees and also for the organization. So if we ensure that these are taken care of, we produce better, healthier meals for the employees.
So, Radhish, so we have seen the COVID situation, and normally we don't face that situation in Hyderabad, wherein because of flood we have to shut down the office. So that we don't face, but in other part of India we face that. So during the BCP situation, what is our expectation from overall cafeteria, not only from the vendor, that how the cafeteria helps us during the BCP situation?
Look, as everybody knows, the food is the most important part. Even if people are stranded in the office, we have to give them something to survive. So what the facilities managers should do is, whenever they are selecting or shortlisting a partner, one, look into a bandwidth of a partner during this kind of situation, whether they are able to support, are they near to your office, so that in case of an emergency, they can support you. Use nowadays, from last few years, we have got aggregators like Gokhana, they would help us to find better
kind
partners.
of, bandwidth, I think
That's something which is very important during a BCP situation.
Correct.
Otherwise, everybody has fought a battle of COVID.
Correct.
And everybody is pro in that now. That's it.
So Kranthi, how COVID changes the expectation from cafeteria?
So COVID, what COVID has done to facilities, the managers and the entire team of facilities, some people, they have lost their jobs, and still people are struggling to get back to the industry. What I will reiterate on this is the employees' expectations in terms of cafeteria. It will be more like the previous, before COVID, it was like full spread of menu was there, and whatever the options we can find out and we can choose the food there. But now after COVID, we have cut down the menu, and also the plate, the vessels that we use, the utensils that we use, those we used to wash and give it to the employees. In some cafeteria it happens. So that's not a wrong practice, it is also good practice. But what we have to do, make sure that there is a proper temperature is maintained, the chemicals is maintained, so that the bacteria will not go forward from
More
there.
of a use and throw.
Yeah,
Option is
so
being
that,
followed.
yeah, as you mentioned, the use and throw, disposal is also increased now. So that is also again it is not eco-friendly. Yeah, so that is, in future it is going to affect the entire the ecosystem. This disposal will affect our, even the going generation also.
Good. Thanks, Kranthi. See, a lot of things being talked about. There is a food supplier, there is aggregator, and there is the user. So, if you can just elaborate a little bit on that, what is the role of aggregator, what is the role of supplier?
Yeah, aggregators in the market are something very new, I would say. Maybe it started somewhere in 2017, where I do not know how many of you remember. Tungsten was one of the first one where they were offline aggregators and then moved on to technology. So aggregators today, that way, if you say, have evolved of late in last 2-3 years, but have been tried to make their existence long time back. Now, why this need for aggregation came in? Because each of you are busy in your own domain, and you do not really find the time to really evaluate all options in the market. So that's where an aggregator is there, who's like your partner, your food partner, your eyes and ears to tell you as to what's happening, what's the latest, what's not happening. And then the layer of technology that's added in today's new age time. And believe me, the technology has seen a sea change from pre-pandemic to post-pandemic, because frankly speaking, we're jobless for those 2 years, and we did not have any work, so we concentrated a lot on making the technology a lot more robust. So that layer added, it becomes like your eyes, ears, and gives you a lot more data. That is what is an aggregator. All the service providers now, instead of you signing contracts with 10 people, you sign with one. BCP becomes a lot more easier, because suppose vendor A does not work, which is very, very common today in the post-pandemic age. It's very easy. We can just change the vendor in over a weekend, or if it's not very critical, with a 1-month notice period. So these are some of the biggest advantages. Why an aggregation model has started? I will go back and ask you, why does JLL or CBRE exist? You could have bought that pen yourself. You could have bought that, tissue paper yourself. But what is CBRE, with all credit to them, and JLL, what are they doing? They're aggregating every purchase, every domain. Why have they left out food and transport? Because that is the toughest. Yeah. They do not want to be blamed for something very tough. So that's why people like us are born to, take that tough task on.
How can facility manager ensure the service provider is making money?
Okay, just I'll take one idiom. Before COVID, हम छुट्टी लेते थे. After COVID, हम office जाते. Means earlier we used to plan leave, now we plan work from office. So that facility manager has to play a crucial role to understand how the sale will happen, how the food consumption will happen. And that way he can help service provider to predict what we are talking. Ankur was talking, the 95% accuracy with involvement of technology from the aggregators and all. That has to help. And that way we can look into that profitability is been maintained by the service food providers at our cafeteria.
Thanks. Ramesh, closing remark that what is the future from here for cafeteria?
So it's all experience, like workplace experience, employee experience. So where I come up with a strategy of involvement, more of collaboration. So we have a different generations working from same place. So we need to collaborate more with the employees, think through their thought process, bring in that change in the cafeteria, reduce menu fatigue, and bring in more options. Within the organizational framework again, like in my previous organization, I was asked to put Perrier sparkling water. I said bottle is $180 and okay. So those are the thought process of Gen Z. So we need to make them understand, bring them down within the budget and within the framework of the organization. With collaboration of the employees, we need to enhance and work towards the increasing of the cafe experience of them.
One big change you will see next 1 year maybe on cafe experience is a virtual cafe inside the cafe. Like your cafe might have space to put in 3 kinds of counter. As we speak today, next 1 or 2 months, we'll launch our virtual cafe. So you might have 3 counters, but you want biryani from paradise. You want something from you pre-order by 11 o'clock and at 1 o'clock it's there at a kiosk. You come
Thank you. So if you have any questions, panel is here, so you can ask there during the lunch time. So thank you, Vishwa.